Sharon. I'm a pediatrician, and I've spent my life calming patients who are nervous about vaccines because of online misinformation. In fact, that's why I introduced the Vaccines Act when I was a new member of Congress. Did you know that there are doctors who, after spending their entire day on the front line fighting this virus, they come home at night and spend their scarce free time and family time fighting misinformation about vaccines online? And this misinformation, of course, comes primarily from Facebook and Twitter. So the question is, why do they do that? Well, they do it because of things like this that happened after I introduced the Vaccines Act. Here are some overt threats. Keep shoving this vaccine mantra down people's throats and expect riots. Be careful, you will answer for this tyranny one day. She needs to just disappear. Can we vote her out of office? I'm enraged over these poison pushers. We have weapons and are trained to fight off possible forced vaccinations. I will die protecting my family. And then there's just the misinformation. It says safe and effective many times, yet no vaccine has been studied in a double-blind study. False. Who's going to take this vaccine? I heard rumors that it changes a person's DNA. False. You do not give, excuse my language, you do not give a shit about the health and welfare of our children. This horrid vaccine has already killed 600 people. You're deplorable. And of course, that again is false. So while the overt threats are unsettling, particularly after January 6th, I think about this whole ecosystem, your ecosystem, that directs a hostile sliver of society en masse to my official Facebook page. And these are not my constituents. In fact, most came from two specific groups that directed their members to my page. Mr. Zuckerberg, I have some questions for you. I know you understand these issues are important, and sometimes misinformation can be very hard to spot. Would you agree?
Congresswoman, I agree with both of those. This is important, and the enforcement processes can be difficult.
Thank you. And I heard your answer earlier to Representative Upton's question that there are 35,000 people doing content review of posts that have been flagged by users in AI. Can you tell me what content review means and how many of those 35,000 are dedicated to topics regarding health?
Congresswoman, yes, what the people are doing overall is, content gets flagged either by the AI systems or by another person in the community. And if the AI can't by itself determine that something either violates or doesn't, then it gets flagged for human review and human judgment. And the 35,000 people go through all those different cues, focused on all of the different types of harms that we've discussed today. I don't have the number off the top of my head about how many of them are focused on vaccine misinformation. But as you know, we have a policy that doesn't allow vaccine misinformation, and we work with the WHO and CDC to take down false claims around COVID and the vaccines around that could cause harm.
That's where it really gets tricky, because you have to have experts and healthcare professionals who really understand. Are your people trained in healthcare to really even be able to discern what's real, what's fake, and what to take down?
Congresswoman, the people who set the policies either are experts in these areas or engage in a consultative process where they talk to a lot of these different folks. In this case, we largely defer to the CDC and WHO on which claims they think are going to be harmful. And then we try to break that down into kind of very simple protocols that the 35,000 people can follow and that we can build into AI systems to go find as much of that content proactively as possible without requiring all those people to be medical experts.
So with my short time remaining, I would love to jump to that part about the CDC, because I want to turn my attention to the COVID Resource Center that you described as a central part of your efforts to fight misinformation. You directed over 2 billion people to the COVID-19 Information Center. But on that information page, almost all of the content links to additional Facebook pages. It looks to me like an extension of Facebook's walled garden that just keeps users on the site instead of linking directly to authoritative trusted sources like the CDC. So knowing that your platform is a large source of misinformation, did you consider just referring people directly to sites like the CDC rather than keeping them within your platform?
Congresswoman, I think we have considered both, and I think we have done both in different cases. The team is very focused on building this in the way that's going to be most effective at getting people to actually see the content. And I believe that they've concluded that showing content from people who within a person's community that they're going to trust on the service is one of the most effective things that we can do.
General Lady's time has expired.
Thank you. I yield back.